Welcome back to AgriTalk. I'm your host, Chip Flory. Last week, Pro Farmer, along with Farmobile, released some harvest results, some yield results. It's in the Pro Farmer Harvest Report, powered by the Farmobile Index, and Jason Tatchy is with Farmobile. He joins us right now. Jason, welcome back to AgriTalk. How are you today?
I'm doing really good. Thanks for having me.
You bet. How's it coming along? We getting more and more reports in?
We are. This is as of 9:30, so it's as of last Wednesday night's reporting. But, we're slowly starting to see some of the stuff roll in from the corn. Next week we'll be able to update you guys with beans as well.
Okay.
But we're seeing, some, I think, high variability in a lot of the areas, and I think that's not to be that's not unexpected. Kind
Right.
of the first field you start to get into, and we're seeing some that some states that are trending a little bit higher than what the USDA is projecting. We're seeing some that are trending quite a bit lower. So I think it's going to be the steady drip, like we talked last week, is really something that's going to be important to track as we keep going forward here. I think it was Wednesday's report, the big shocker coming out there, and so that's just another example of ways that we can do a better job of starting to get combining some of these sources to get a better picture of what the crop size may actually be.
Excellent. Okay, now, like we talked about last week, we need to be, we need to have an understanding of exactly what is going on with the information and the data as it comes rolling in, and because this is the first ensemble of the Pro Farmer Harvest Report powered by the Farmobile Index, we need to understand that there's more data coming in all the time, and that additional data will only increase the accuracy going forward. But do you want to talk about some of the results that we had in Pro Farmer Newsletter last week?
Yeah, so I'll talk about, we see Illinois right now, the average coming in probably right around 215. That's about 12 bushels higher than what the USDA projections are. Again, very limited, data sets coming in so far. We see, Indiana about 205, and that's probably about 19 bushels above what we're seeing, kind of the projections are. So again, talking about that variability. We're seeing Minnesota come in at about 178 for a statewide average. That's about 22 under. And I think the big shocker, and the big shocker is really Iowa. We're seeing coming in right now, again, really limited amounts of acres reporting, but we're seeing about 132 versus a 191 projection from the USDA.
Right. Jason, is there any way of knowing what those acres are? I mean, were they windblown acres? Were they droughted acres? Anything like that?
I think that's what the assumption is, and I think as we look into next week and the following weeks, we're going to get a better picture as to really, are these guys out there taking their stuff that, they want to get out first, some of that damaged stuff out first to get it out of the way. I think we're going to learn that pretty quick here.
Right. So remind us, Jason, what is the Farmobile Index?
So the Farmobile Index is for Farmobile subscribers, and what we do is we take a nightly run of the data collected for the previous 24-hour period, and we create a state-level average for our subscribers to go on and look at. So when they go to make some marketing decisions, it's another piece of information, just like the Pro Farmer Crop Tour is during the in-season. This is another piece of information for them to look at, as you're kind of in the meat of the harvest time.
Right. Back to the results that have already come in. Kansas, boy, they're making some quicker progress down in Kansas on the corn harvest.
Yeah, Kansas and Missouri both right now. We've had almost perfect weather down here. I sit just south of Kansas City, and it couldn't be better right now for getting crops out of the field. And it looks like it's going to last this way for the next at least 5 to 7 days here as well.
Right.
If you look at Kansas, the numbers that's reporting there were basically a push to what the USDA is projecting at 137 for a statewide average.
Okay. Jason, what do you hope to learn through all of this?
I think that last week's, surprise is something that it piqued my attention to go back and kind of, again, last year we even had a smaller user base than we do this year, but last year we were showing the Iowa average to be about 182 versus the USDA's 190, I think 196 it was, or 198, so we were 16 bushels off last year. Now, I've heard you talk on the show a few times about basis levels being higher than expected for corn, at this time of the year. Maybe the crop last year just wasn't quite as big as what we were anticipating. I think that's one of the things that in my mind is I'm thinking about, at least from a bigger perspective, to see, how do we really know what the crop size is from these projections?
Yeah. Well, boy, the listeners, regular listeners of the show, have heard me say many times that the futures market can lie to you, the cash market can't. And the cash market will typically point you in the right direction. And for so long, the cash market has been suggesting that the overall supply of corn just wasn't as great as what was as the stocks numbers that we were getting from USDA. So there may be something to that, Jason. Maybe something to it. Go ahead.
It was telling you that in the face of all of this demand destruction too, right? That's the part that really is interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do we go to learn more, Jason?
We go to farmobile.com, and we'd be happy to pick up the phone, and we've got our phone number on there as well, and talk to people. A lot of times people want to talk to a person when it comes to some of this stuff, and we're happy to do that the old-fashioned way. You bet. This
is pretty cool stuff. I can't wait to see how the information progresses through the season with the Pro Farmer Harvest Report powered by the Farmobile Index. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All righty.